When I was 6 years old, my dad woke me up at 2 a.m. He told me to get dressed because we were going to McDonald's. Even at that age, I knew that was strange. But I was 6, so obviously I didn't question it. I was just excited about getting McDonald's in the middle of the night. When we came home, though, I noticed something was missing. My teddy bear. His name was Bubby. I loved that bear more than anything. I took Bubby everywhere. I slept with him, ate with him, watched TV with him, and honestly treated him like he was my best friend. So when I couldn't find him, I started crying. I asked my dad where he was. He told me we'd look for him in the morning. But when I mentioned Bubby again later, my dad suddenly looked angry. I didn't understand why. I was only 6, so I assumed he was upset about losing the bear too. Eventually, I stopped asking. And for years, I completely forgot about it. Until a few weeks ago, I was grocery shopping with my dad when I suddenly saw a teddy bear that looked almost exactly like Bubby. I picked it up and started laughing about how I used to take my teddy everywhere. I told my dad how I used to pretend Bubby was listening to me, but instead of laughing with me, my dad suddenly exploded. He shouted, "Enough about that damn bear. Just let it go." I froze. My dad was the calmest person I'd ever known. I'd practically never heard him raise his voice. So immediately, I knew something wasn't right. When we got home, I gave him a few hours to calm down. Then I finally asked him, "Dad, what happened to Bubby?" He sighed. Then he finally told me the truth. He said, "I took you to McDonald's that night for a reason." Apparently, when I was 6, I absolutely refused to go anywhere without Bubby. If someone tried to leave the house with me without my teddy bear, I'd throw a massive tantrum. My dad said one night, after another one of those tantrums, his instincts as a father kicked in. He picked up Bubby and looked at him carefully. And that's when he noticed something terrifying. Inside Bubby's left eye was something that looked like a tiny camera lens. My dad immediately realized that my favorite teddy bear might not have been just a toy. Someone could potentially have been watching me, listening to me, knowing where I went, and knowing what happened inside our home. My dad didn't tell me because I was too young. Instead, he made a decision. That night, while I was distracted at McDonald's, he took Bubby. And later, he burned it. By this point, I was crying, but my dad wasn't finished. The next day, without telling anyone, he went back to the place where we'd bought the teddy bear. It wasn't really a normal store. It was more like a small street stand. And when he looked closely, he noticed something terrifying. Every teddy bear they were selling had the same kind of lens hidden inside the eye. My dad confronted the seller. He demanded an explanation. According to my dad, the seller eventually admitted what was happening. And my dad made sure those remaining teddy bears were destroyed. He didn't want another child taking one of those toys home. When I heard the entire story, I didn't know how to react. Part of me was shocked that the teddy bear I'd loved so much could have been something dangerous. But another part of me suddenly understood something I'd never realized as a kid. I thought my dad had ruined one of my favorite memories. I thought he'd taken my teddy bear away for no reason. I thought he'd gotten angry whenever I mentioned it because he didn't care. But the truth was completely different. He had been protecting me, and he had carried that secret for years because he didn't want his little 6-year-old daughter to grow up terrified of the world. Looking back, that strange McDonald's trip wasn't random at all. My dad had taken me somewhere public, so he could get the teddy bear away from me without frightening me. And the reason he never explained it? Because sometimes a parent has to make a decision their child won't understand until they're much older. That night, I finally saw my dad in a completely different light. He wasn't angry about Bubby. He wasn't trying to erase my childhood. He was scared. Scared that something I loved could have been watching me, and determined to make sure it never happened again. And honestly, I still don't know exactly how I feel about what happened. But one thing is certain. When I was 6, I thought my dad took my favorite teddy bear away from me. Now I realize he may have been protecting me from something I was